Alright, welcome to a new video. I already filmed an intro for this video, but it was kind of too loud to hear me on the highway and stuff, so I just figured I'd refilm this intro. So this video is from Southeast Colorado, and we went to the Co-Park trip, which is Colorado Partners in Amphibian and Reptile Conservation. It was like a 2.5 day trip about, and me and Hayden went down there, had some fun, met up with a lot of other herpers, and basically this first video is just going to be the first night of road cruising, along with a little bit in the morning. But some amazing herping we had down there. We had a great trip. Glad we could see everyone down there. But here is the videos from that trip. Alright, well, we were driving on a main road, and every time we pass the road we make sure to do a quick glance down there and make sure there's no snakes crossing. We passed the road and I saw this guy out on the road. We couldn't tell what it was because it was a few hundred yards, probably about 80 yards down the road off of where we were cruising, and we saw it on the road perpendicular to us. So we quickly flipped around, came and got it, ran up on it as we saw it kind of barely getting ready to cross the road, and then we got it in the ditch right down there. And as you can see, we got a coach whip right here, decently sized. They definitely get bigger, pretty dull coloration, but it has some interesting patterning. There's tons of flies on us right now, but interesting patterning right there. This is only the second live one we've seen. We've seen quite a few more dead ones than alive, since they are daytime snake more often, and they're more often found dead, because that's when a lot of people tend to be driving. But the tail, as always, is really cool. Thankfully it cooled down really fast, which means the snake wasn't too fast and I was able to get a hold of it. Got some interesting weather tonight. We'll see how it plays out. Just saw a dead bull snake so far, and then it cooled off too much for lizards. But gonna go to a meeting here in a second, and then we'll hopefully be finding more snakes here soon. But glad to see Coach Whip, and we will let this guy go. Alrighty, so here we have a small bull snake. This is one of the smaller ones that I've seen before, actually. And just road cruised it. As you can see, we're on the road, but we weren't thinking we were gonna really see snakes. It was raining quite a bit an hour or two ago. We had the meeting and stuff, and it was raining. It looked like it was gonna be an amphibian night. Haven't seen one yet. Sun hasn't set all the way quite yet. But we got a snake, which is really good news. I'm really hoping that tonight will be an amphibian night, or a snake night, because we still got snakes to find down here that we haven't seen before, and it's just awesome seeing any snake. But we're gonna see if I can pick them up without them biting me, which is not gonna happen, but we're gonna get them off the road here. Oh, maybe. All right, but we're gonna get them off the road, and maybe we'll be able to continue to see snakes. Alrighty, so we just cruised up on this Great Plains rat snake right here, which is mine and Hayden's lifer. Really awesome. Thought it was a glossy at first, just because they do have that similar patterning, but the best way to determine the difference easily, at least for people who haven't seen them a lot like me and Hayden, is the stomach there has kind of checkering, as you can see right there. It's not completely bare white. But we'll get a couple pictures of this guy. It doesn't seem like it wants to hold too still for pictures, so we won't spend too much time. But awesome, we could see this guy, and we'll let it go here in a second. All right, about a minute down the road, we have another snake right here. Here's a Plains garter snake. We're just gonna tap it off the road, or we might have to just pick it up to move it, because we got a car coming. But we're gonna get this guy off the road. Cool to see another snake, and maybe we'll see more. All right, just again a few minutes later, got another snake right here, and we got a glossy snake here. And this guy's pretty big as well. It was almost off the road, but we thankfully grabbed it just in time. Hayden was able to grab it out of the grass. But yeah, large glossy snake, has some pinkish coloration. Hard for it to kind of show up on the camera, but you can see pinkish coloration. Might be a little bit of a blood stain right there towards the front, but we're just gonna get this guy off. Wasn't wanting to hold still at all, but snakes are moving, so we're gonna keep on moving as well. All right, so it's been a little bit since we've seen something, not terribly long, but we got this Plains black-headed snake right here, and it's a pretty big one as far as the species go. But glad to see that the snakes actually are out. We weren't expecting that they would, and that's a really nice thing to see. It's gonna cool off like maybe 1 degree every hour, if even, which is really good. But we can probably just release it right now, and it will just go off the road there. cool to see another snake, and we are gonna make sure it gets all the way off, and we'll keep on going. All right, so we just cruised another rat snake. This guy was almost off the road. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Wasn't sure if it was a snake, and went back and it was. So another rat snake right here. Earlier I said it's kind of hard to tell the difference, but as you see more and more of them between rat snakes and glossies, it's easier to tell. Comes with learning and experience, obviously. So just gonna let it go. Cool to see another rat snake. It was headed this way, so we'll let it go on its way there. All right, next find, not a snake, but we got a wood-housed toad right here. Decently sized, lighter colored than most, but we're just gonna get it off the road. First amphibian, another species to add to the list, but we'll let them get out of here and we're gonna keep on going. All right, so unfortunately it just got defensive right before I could start filming, but we got a big adult prairie rattlesnake right here. First one of the night. And I think only our second one down here this year so far. They've definitely been less common as what I've heard from other herpers, but defensive rattlesnake right here. Don't want to bother him, so we'll just make sure he gets off the road right here. But awesome to add another species to the list. We'll just get him off the road here in a second. Alrighty, and there he goes. We'll see what else we can find. Alright, next find, another little Tantilla, Plains black-headed snake. We'll see if we can get him off the road here. That might take too long. I'm gonna pick him up, and now we'll get him off the road. Another decently sized one, pretty big. Once again, as far as these species go, but we'll just get him off the road here. Alrighty, and just a minute or two later, we have another rat snake right here, Great Plains rat snake, and this has been our most encountered species of the night so far, which I don't think is too typical. Well, actually, I know it's not too typical that this is the most encountered species of the night, but we'll get it off the road here in a second. Alright, so it feels a bit chilly out here. The temps actually are still pretty good in like the mid-70s, which is a lot better than it was supposed to be earlier. Feels chilly with the breeze, but I don't think it's actually too bad. Road is still kind of warm, so we're just gonna have him go on its way. Alright, so me and Hayden, another snake just a few minutes after that rat snake. We were flipping out, if you want to see why. Speckled king snake. This is probably the most sought after and prized snake down here in southeast Colorado. Very rare. It's normally pretty hard to come across these guys, and we just found it. I mean, we're freaking out. I'm at a loss of words, honestly. We found it like 5-10 minutes ago, and I'm still trying to collect myself. I was obviously in no condition to film when we first saw it, as we were completely flipping out, but this snake is amazing. It has kind of some scars towards the tail. Can't tell if it's necessarily in-shed or not. I don't think it's in-shed too badly. Nice patterning on the sides. The top is pretty black all along, but just that side speckling of the white and black, and just the rarity of these guys, how cool they look, and just an awesome snake. We didn't think it was at first. We just kind of saw it on the side of the road and walked up on it. Hayden said it was a speckled, as I was a little bit behind him trying to catch up, and speckled king snake. Alright, so it is time to let this guy go. Took a bit of time taking pictures. Not crazy amount considering how cool a find this is, but we think we got good enough pictures that we'll just let it go so we can use the rest of the night. But we're just going to set it down and it'll head off. Hopefully continue to produce more king snakes in the future. But absolutely amazing find. And there the highlight of the night goes. Alright, so it's been a little over an hour since we saw that speckled king snake. Still can't get over it. And here we have a night snake, which I've only seen one ever, but it was in Utah, so this is my first Colorado night snake, and this is Hayden's lifer night snake. This guy was darting across the road. I kind of thought it was just a big Tantilla at first, but it's definitely thicker and a little bit longer than most Tantilla, but cool, we could get another snake. It's pretty cold out here. The wind is really cold, and I guess it's about 67, so there's still a chance at finding more stuff, but it's definitely low odds. But we'll probably go for a little bit while longer now that we found another snake, but we'll just get this guy off the road here. Alrighty, and this is the way that this guy was headed, so we'll just let it go on its way. Here's something cool. We're checking out this pond. There's a whole bunch of tiger salamander larvae. It's hard to get super close to them without getting my shoes all muddy and wet, but quite a few tiger salamander larvae, which is pretty dope. Alright, so it is now the morning. Here we have this awesome Texas horned lizard, really short tail, and just the spikes as always, really cool. We were just doing a hike this morning. We saw lizards and stuff. A few people saw snakes, but I didn't record those. Me and Hayden didn't see them, and there was just people were busy taking pictures, so I didn't worry about it. But we saw some lizards. We got to see some collared lizards. Didn't get a hold of one, but that's all right. But here we have this guy, and we're just gonna let it go. It was just running across the road, and thankfully we were able to see it before it got off. But there it goes. All right, well, it's hard to get this guy to sit still, but we've been walking the river here for a while for these right here, water snakes, along with soft-shelled turtles. Didn't see any soft shells. Someone else found one of these water snakes earlier, and then we've just been seeing lots of little toads and stuff, woodhouses, toads everywhere, and leopard frogs. But these guys, water snakes, tend to be very feisty snakes. You can see he's biting me right there. We're gonna get a few pictures, and then we'll let it go here in a second. All right, here's one more look at this water snake. It's just moving along the water right here, and we'll just let it continue to do that. There it goes. All right, we just got another one right here. Max flipped this guy under the water and was able to get a hold of it just a few minutes after that last one, but definitely a nice little population right here just because there's rocks and stuff for them to hide. We'll see if we can find any more, but probably get ready to head back to camp in not too long. Alrighty, so it is 6 o'clock in the evening. We're meeting up with people just for a little community dinner. You can see I got some sun today. I normally don't burn, but we were just out hiking the rivers for so long today. Didn't see too much. We got to see a few cool things and just had fun hanging out, looking for stuff. But I think this is going to be the end of the first video, and then the next night cruising, which will start in a few hours, is going to be the next video along with whatever happens the next morning. Hopefully it goes well. We're not expecting it to go as well as it did last night, but hopefully we can find some things. But thank you for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.